go ahead, Brother Mahmood Dhalla.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you for giving me the turn. All right, I would like to take a couple of minutes of your time and take a slightly different approach to all of this, yeah, and see if it resonates with the rest of the group here. Everybody is spending hours of their personal time for the sake of the community, and everybody has great intentions while doing this. We are a very diverse community, and as such, the fact that we have a PSS report that had a different conclusion, the electoral college had a different conclusion, and so on, right? It's actually just natural. That is natural part of being a diverse community, and that is why when we do self-governance, right, we have to live with the fact that we are going to be different. We are going to come up to different conclusions, but then we stick to what the majority wants to do and move forward from there. So I concur very much with you, Mr. Chairman, that and thank you for taking up this responsibility and doing it so well, mashallah, so far, and I appreciate that. But I do concur, and I do concur with you that it is, I think, futile to start pointing fingers and saying this person did this bad or this person that bad. I'm not sure what we're trying to achieve by doing that. Everybody acted in their best interest, whether it is the PSS, in the best interest of the charity, in the most sincere way, whether it was the PSS or the Electoral Commission or all the old OBs or whoever. We are indebted to all of them for spending all that amount of time. Now, the different approach I'm talking about is I've looked at what the court and the judge has come back to us. If whatever happened was anywhere, shape, or form illegal by court, or the laws, local laws, we would not be sitting here. The rule would have passed and we would have moved on. What the court is basically telling us is whatever has happened is not illegal, all right? It's messed up a little bit, but it's your own problem. Go solve it yourself. And whatever you decide, it will be fined by the court. And then the judge is giving us advice and saying, listen carefully. You look at your constitution, look at the few things, but at the end of the day, please make a decision which is in the best interest of the charity. So even if you agree to go this route or that route, it's okay for the court. So that gives us the latitude of making that decision. My recommendation is let's make that decision collectively and peacefully stick with that decision, because that is what democratic institutions do. Whether we like the decision or not, we peacefully stick with it, right? So the fact that the judge has told us that you go ahead and you make your decision. Let's make those decisions together, right? Let's not point fingers, and let's look at what's best interest of the charity. Now, I'll give you my opinion of what I think is the best interest of the charity at this point. The term for World Federation, 3 years, right? 1.5 years of that is gone, right? So it's another a year and a half to the next election. Is it worth running a different election right now? Have we made some mistakes in procedural mistakes? I guarantee you we have, but I also can guarantee you we have made procedural mistakes in every single election we've ever had. We are not perfect system. We can never be perfect. If we go deep digging, we'll find it. We'll find mistakes in every election. What we need to sit here and say is it worth doing it at this point? What are we achieving? Could we spend the next year and a half setting up another election? Or could we spend the next year and a half making sure that the next election that will come will be done better, the constitution will be fixed, and we will bring a new team of councillors, a much more younger generation to participate more with us. That would, I think, would be in the best interest of the charity at time, for a couple of reasons. The procedural mistakes that were made were not significant enough to change the votes, all right? And even if they were, the margin with which the winner won was so significant that it would not change the results of the election, right? So for those two reasons, I don't think having another election is actually in the best interest of our community right now. The best interest of our community is for all of us to say, yes, we made some procedural mistakes, but we also understand that these procedural mistakes will not have, significantly changed the results. Sabdarbai and his team are doing the best they can. Everybody has done the best they can. Let's move on and let's focus on that to make sure in this year and a half that is left, that the constitution is resolved, and that the SOP and whatever procedural things are resolved so that when the next election comes, we're much tighter, and the number of any procedural mistakes are minimized even further. Right? Remember, I'm saying minimize because we can never eliminate that because we're not perfect. We are by nature human beings. We're not perfect. So that would be my recommendation. If we think of it this way and we stop nitpicking on the little things here and there because it's really not productive to anybody, we'll sit here another 3 weekends, right? What we're trying to achieve. We're not going to achieve what we need to achieve, right? What we need to achieve is consensus, but move forward. If we go to vote and the vote says we need to annul the election, so be it. Even those who don't agree with it will have to stick with it and move on. This will show to the world that we are civilized, that we take the time needed to debate, but then we all stick together with whatever decision we make. That is an approach I would recommend we take. And I hope it makes sense. So thank you very much for the time.